Hey everybody, welcome back to the Graphic Multiverse. I'm your host Paul, joined with Angela.
Hi.
Rob.
Hi.
Chandler.
Hi.
And very excited to welcome back to the show Juan.
Hi.
The one and only, my Obi-Wan. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome
Good
back
to
to
be
the
Fun.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Back to the multiverse. How's everybody doing? Actually, right before we were recording, just for posterity? Prosperity?
I think it's posterity.
Posterity.
For pots and pans. We were all talking about getting our vaccines for COVID. This is a big moment.
It is.
Each of us is fully vaccinated.
Or on the road.
On the road, yeah.
So I'm on the road.
Well, we're technically not fully vaccinated. I think it's like 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
After the second shot.
I think
we got our second.
I think it's only like 10 days after the second shot.
My second shot was on the 26th of March, so I'm good now.
You're
would
say
good.
so.
I
Look
can
at
go
you.
about my normal business of
Yeah.
licking doorknobs.
Exactly.
And,
Yeah.
Yep.
you know.
As one does.
That's right.
It's like, look,
Back to normal.
it's like, yep.
Fun for the
Actively
family on a
inhaling
Sunday
sneezes.
afternoon. Yeah.
Yeah. My hands are going to enjoy not washing them every 2 seconds. But I got to say, you should wash your hands.
Yeah.
And I have to...
It's nuts how this pandemic, like, very quickly identified the people that don't properly wash their hands in the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
Because people would just get 30 seconds, this is bullshit. Like, you just put the soap in your hand and, like, rush it out with the first stream of water.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Like,
Also, it's
lather
30 seconds.
bubbles. Like,
Yeah, just saying happy birthday.
Yeah.
Make it a
Yeah.
party.
My
Yeah.
favorite thing is when you're in the bathroom and a guy walks up to the sink, he like turns on the water and then walks out. He doesn't even get his hands wet. I'm just like, was that just to like try to trick somebody with the sound? Like,
Yeah.
What
It'll be
wild ass
interesting.
universe are you guys living in?
I don't know.
Movie theaters.
I was going to... Yeah.
Oh.
movie-
That's what, that
yeah.
happens a lot in there. Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
no,
true.
No. Yeah.
No, I was just going to say, I washed my hands before. I washed them more because of COVID. And I have to say, I have enjoyed not being sick with anything. Like, I think because I washed my hands
Yeah.
so much and the social
Yeah,
distancing.
not being sick for a year has been really nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm
Unless
enjoying
you
that.
deal with allergies, which
Oh,
got
those
pretty
are
bad
roaring up
here
tight
in
right
Texas. So I'm getting hammered, but
Ugh.
that aside, it's all good.
Most wonderful time of the year.
Mine really start to perk up in June.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine are in the fall. Well, they used to be in the fall. This beautiful thing happened to me. This is like a fairy tale. Someone told me, and my family, because the allergies runs amok on my mom's side of the family. Someone told me someday, if you're lucky, you'll grow up and you may outgrow your allergies. And it happened. I had allergies in the fall every year like clockwork, and it was miserable because I would sneeze so much. I'd get like nosebleeds, like rashes, like all that shit. And then one year, nothing.
do you
And then
think
it
it's
struck
Colorado?
me.
Do you think Massachusetts?
No, it was Massachusetts. I started noticing it. Yeah, it was like right around like.
No, Massachusetts had some wild, not wild, I'm sorry. Colorado has some wild, like, foliage out here that can cause some pretty intense,
And like rattlesnakes and stuff. It's got
Like,
all
yeah,
stuff.
well, that.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
coyotes.
yeah, but anyway, the allergies I used to suffer in the fall, like the ragweed and stuff like that. It was just like one day where like I don't know. My dad was like, "Did you get any like like when was the last time you had your allergies?" Like like when's the last time you had to buy medicine? I was like, "Oh my!" It was like unbreakable. I was like, "When was the last time you were sick?" It was like, "Oh my god, yeah." It was like, first of all, who left this note on my windshield? When was the last time I got sick?
You survived
Samuel
the
Jackson.
ragweed train
Yeah.
derailment.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm looking at you like this for two reasons.
We are so old. We started our podcast talking about allergies.
And then
That
segue
is
to
how-
a movie that's 20 years old at this point.
It's like a like tell me you're in your 30s without telling me in
The
your
1-2 punch. Yeah.
Yep.
There you
Yeah.
go.
We're making unbreakable
Let's talk about
references.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The new one, not the one from '95.
Which is also amazing.
It's
Yeah,
very
we'll
fun.
get into
Yes, more so
we
than
will
Annihilation.
right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get into that. But first, let's dive into Falcon and Winter Soldier, which wrapped up this week. And yeah, I believe we have all the thoughts and all the feels because I definitely had some feels in this finale. Like I cried. I had
Yeah,
no
I teared
shame
up
in
a
that.
couple times. Yeah.
Man,
It's
yeah.
Got a little verklempt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I felt
that being
nothing.
said, spoiler warning: we're diving in. Falcon Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Yeah.
I gotta start by saying I like the Falcon costume except for the weird neck thing.
Thank you.
It's bugging
The
me,
top
all
of
right?
his head is
What's-
completely exposed.
Yeah, it's like
You need a helmet. You're
Fix-
flying.
fix the little
What if
neck
you
and head up a
fall?
little bit, but other than
Right.
that, when he
It's like a high top fade for a uniform.
I know it's that one little thing got me. Although that episode when it starts and he just busts through and he stands up and he's in that outfit, I verbally said, "Hell yeah!"
Yeah. Yeah.
In the whitest way possible.
It literally like that. I was sitting up on my couch and, and I just went, "Hell yeah!"
You
I'm
go,
pretty
brother.
sure with my wife and my 7-year-old watching, I'm pretty sure I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Like, it's like, whoops, I gotta tone, but I got a little too excited. Drake was into it too. He got out of his chair and he was like, "That was incredible!" Like he was really into Falcon as Captain America, especially
Awesome.
the flying shield throwing stuff. Like,
Oh, yeah.
that blew his mind.
It blew my mind too because
Sure.
I remember when in the Rick Remender run when he made Sam Captain America, because in the comic he like his arms are in the wings, so it's like how is he gonna fly and throw the shield? And I love how they adapted that with just like seeing him in action doing it. Like it was like I feel like it connected the dot that my imagination couldn't, but also his arms weren't in the wings, so that helped.
Fair,
But it was
yeah.
still fucking awesome to watch.
Yeah, I love the whole overall. Anytime there's an action scene with Falcon or Cap now, in it is so sick.
Yes.
When the helicopter crashed into him, but he just bounced off it with his sweet new wings, I also went, hell yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. That was very unexpected too. But then you think about it, and it's like, yeah, of course, the whole thing would be made out of vibranium. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
Now he has 2 red wings. That's also really badass.
that's
Yeah.
pretty dope. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like wondering what that conversation was like between Bucky and one of the Dora Milaje, like being like, "I got one more favor," and it's like, you know, like, can you make my buddy a costume with some wings? And I'd be like, Bucky, I thought you like wanted something at the store. Like that's like, you know, that's a favor.
lot.
This is like
Here's
a
my
fucking
sketch.
project. Yeah, here's my
Right.
sketch.
Sketch, will you
Here's
make
how.
this?
And if I could get that in about an hour, that'd be great.
Like, did he give
Thanks.
him a high top fade on his uniform? That's so weird.
Well, he's
He-
like, all right,
he
we're
needs to
friends
feel
now, but he
the-
has to look kind of like a
wing.
dork.
Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, though, Sam hasn't worn a helmet in any of these movies.
That's true.
No.
He is.
True.
It's very much Ultimate Falcon. From
Yes.
the get-go that he was introduced, even down to the color scheme in Winter Soldier. So
Yeah.
I like,
Yeah,
I like his subtle evolution throughout the movies and appearances to his final
Right.
form that he has now. Which
Yeah.
I'm all That
Right.
costume looks great, like so
Yeah.
good.
And I'm glad that he doesn't actually like talk to birds or whatever
I
he
know.
does in the comic, or like sees through the like I'm sure.
Yeah, it'd be a little.
I mean-
it'd be a little weird.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Red
he's
Wing
a-
is like is an actual bird.
Oh Jesus.
I
Falcon
think
is
I wouldn't
technically
mind if
a
he had an actual bird,
low-level
though.
mutant.
Oh.
Yeah.
Low level.
Yeah. So you got like Omega mutants, right? Falcon is
Iceman.
like
Yeah.
like what's below Alpha, like a half of Alpha. He's like
That's
one
like
of those
beta.
mutants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. So good job on the adaptation part. Just like, yeah, we'll just make it something that you know Stark builds for him. You know, retcon and stuff and missiles and
Can we
whatnot.
talk about how like Sharon is like
Oh, the
kind of
power
cool
broker?
now?
She's a scroll.
That's what.
Ooh.
That's
She's
one
a
of the.
scroll.
It does make a lot of sense.
She's a scroll.
Wait, what?
She's a scroll.
Secret
Wait, so
Invasion's
where's-
coming out.
She's a scroll.
Where-
And I'm pretty sure
who's-
she's been a scroll the whole time.
So where's real Sharon?
I don't
There
know.
is no real Sharon.
Yeah, I don't know. But I'm calling
You're like
it now.
blowing
She's
my
a scroll.
mind. I'm
Like,
just like buying into whatever you're serving. I'm like,
truth be told, so we finished watching it. I'm like, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, where the fuck was Arnim Zola? Like, what the hell? Like, you had such
Yeah.
a layup. And then I turned to my wife, and she's like, oh, she's probably going to be in Secret Invasion. And I'm like, holy shit. She's like, yeah, she might be a Skrull, right? I'm like, yeah. And Diana hasn't even read Secret Invasion, but she knows what happens in Secret Invasion. So she was like,
Right.
is she
Yeah.
a Skrull? And I'm like, the more I thought about it, the more it aggravated me that I didn't think of it first. And I was like, way to go. Like,
but I thought
that
the
is right
scrolls
on the
were
nose.
like, I
Yeah.
thought scrolls were like kind of cool in the MCU right now.
That's what's
Here's
weird.
the thing. Like,
So why would they do that?
Talos and those scrolls, they're just scrolls. They are not, like, we don't know where the Skrull Queen is. They've never talked about the Skrull Queen. And she is the basic driving force in the Secret Invasion comic. She
Got
gets
it,
herself
okay.
into a position where she's liaison to S.H.I.E.L.D. as an agent. She's liaison with the Avengers as an Avenger. And she uses that to basically, like, put different Skrulls in positions on both places.
But
That's
in the comic, they were like
crazy.
religious extremists, though. That like strain of
Right.
scrolls.
He loves you.
Right.
Yeah.
But those are Kree. The Krees and Ronan in particular were the religious extremists. The Krees actually.
Well, I mean,
didn't
everybody
approve
has a
of
religious
Ronan. And they were like, even like at the beginning of Guardians, they had
Yeah.
that whole exchange, and the Kree dude's like, I don't even agree with Ronan. Stop talking about him. I gave you
Every-
the treaty. Leave me the fuck.
But
alone."
every culture has their religious extremists, so that
For sure.
totally makes sense. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and
I buy it. All right, well, okay. I just thought like, oh, okay, she's kind of cool now. All right,
yeah,
she was really
she's a
boring
Skrull.
before, but now she's like,
I did have
oh.
a few gripes about the episode. So the main one was like, I think throughout the series that Bucky was kind of like given like the idiot ball a couple of times, like especially with like when he's on the phone with Carly getting distracted, and I'm like, you just stood there and like let all that stuff happen. It's like, dude, you're like the former Winter Soldier. You can't just like stand there and get
Right.
outsmarted by a teenager, and that was kind of like frustrating.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. I mean, I don't know.
There were little things though that I really enjoyed about Bucky, about how when he was the Winter Soldier, the middle arm was his dominant hand, but when he's himself, he's right-handed, and so you see him using and leaning on his like actual hand, like right hand, more often. Like the way he was like bringing out that cake, and like I noticed those little details, which I thought was pretty neat.
That's cool. I didn't notice that. I mean, I remember the line. Oh, I'm right-handed, but yeah, no, that's
But when he's like holding the gun when he kills
Yep.
that dude's like son, it's with the robot arm.
Yep.
yeah.
And even in like Winter Soldier, the actual like the movie, he catches the shield with the metal arm. He pulls out the
He
knife
does all of his
with the
intense
metal
shit
arm.
with the metal arm.
He drives the knife into the van with the metal arm.
But I totally
know,
hear
like-
exactly what you're saying, Chandler, about him having the idiot ball sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish they fleshed out his arc a tiny bit more, because they definitely focused on Sam.
Yeah.
And at the end of the episode, like when he kind of is doing his confession, and then you see him later walk by the guy having like dinner or something, and I'm like, I kind of wish they just showed a little bit more about that. Like,
Well, and I didn't like how he was like, okay, Sam was like, you have to do the work. But like Bucky was like, I'm going to do the work, but still not talk to my therapist about it. And it's like, no, you got to do that too.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. We like left the note thing. I'm like, no, you
Yeah,
should, like,
that's not
have, like,
acceptable. You
yeah.
have to work with your therapist, guys. You have to.
I think they probably
mental
took it as
health
like
matters.
absolutely.
maybe
I think
he's
they
going
probably-
to see Sam now as his therapist.
That is not
Not
a
healthy.
good,
Friends
healthy
are not
relationship.
Yeah, no, and I kind of had the feeling that was going to be the case, even though it's called, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then we all knew it was going to be Falcon's ascension to Captain America, and but I hope that at some point, we get, because I know there's talk that I saw in the Hollywood Reporter about there being Captain America 4, and, and the same showrunners are going to be doing it, and hopefully Sam is involved. not Sam, I'm sorry. Hopefully Bucky's involved, or we get like a White Wolf movie, or like, because I'm sure there's plenty of things you could have Bucky do. There's a lot of unexplored avenues that they have for that character, and I think Sebastian Stan like just killed it.
Oh, phenomenal.
Yeah, he was great.
I think you and I talked about this years ago when Winter Soldier came out, when he says the line, "Who the hell is Bucky?" lifted right out of the Brubaker comic. It was like goosebumps because he delivered it so well. It was like kind of one of those rare moments where you feel like, because I don't always feel this when I watch the
way I read it when the comic came out. Like, I'm reading it, and I read it with, like, that line is delivered with, like, such frustration and confusion and anger and denial all at the same time. You watch the movie, it's the same thing. Like, you could see, he does a lot of that. Sebastian Stan does a lot of acting with his eyes. And this series in particular, especially the first 2 episodes, like, I thought he was excellent. Like, he's great throughout the whole thing. But as the show progresses, it feels like he talks more and more on purpose. Yeah. Like, and again, by design. So, yeah, great.
Excuse me, sorry. Yes, I burped. Again, we can move past it.
There's also the part with the pilot in the helicopter that was conveniently there. I'm like, okay, I'll suspend my disbelief for this episode.
I kind of like that because Sam working with like a civilian to do something cool kind of felt very Captain America to me.
Well, wasn't that like a
senator or something like that? Yeah.
Like, there's precedent for it. How many people in our Senate right now and in our government actually previously served?
That's true.
Like, a whole bunch. And I can think of one woman in particular, Miss Tammy Duckworth, who is an American hero, senator there in, I believe, Hawaii. And she did like 4 tours in Afghanistan. Like, she is legit. So, yeah, it's a little like MacGuffin, but I shrugged it off because I'm like, yeah, I mean, what are the odds? The odds are actually very good because there's a lot of the military that end up going into politics. So,
yeah, it was actually, that was kind of cool. Like, it's like doing the face scan and then pulling up their service record, and it's like, that's
cool use of Red Wing too.
Yeah,
and the tech.
And no, that was very cool. I liked one thing I saw that was interesting. A buddy of mine sent this to me. It was a rating on Rotten Tomatoes for every single episode, and they're like between like 85 and 100. Right. And the very last episode, rotten. It was like 57.
Suspect.
Yeah, yeah. And my buddy, like, who I will say is black, and it is important for this story because he was like, fucking text me, fucking white people, man, America with the 3 Ks, and it's like, yeah, that is kind of a bummer that the episode where the black man becomes Captain America. It was the worst episode.
Has the audacity to lecture people on how to like try to put themselves in other people's shoes.
Yeah.
And he actually said it in his speech, like, there's going to be millions of people that hate me just for the color of my skin wearing this costume.
And that's
like,
and look what happens.
And that's what's happening. Yeah. These are the same people that demanded the Snyderverse get his, release or cut or all of whatever. I still haven't watched that, by the way. Proudly. I'll get around to it at some point, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a lot of slow motion. We did an episode about that.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Or not.
I watched like an hour of it with a cousin of mine, and he's really into those movies. And after about like 45 minutes, I got up and I was like, I'm gonna go. Like,
did you make it to the lamenting women?
The sweater sniffers.
The sweater sniffing lamentations.
I basically broke when I saw Flash's whole scene where he with the hot dogs and the running through the glass and all of that. Like, I was like, what just happened to Sneak? I'm fucking done. Like, I got up when he's running around barefoot, grabbing hot dogs out of... Jesus Christ. So, yeah. And then I went off, like, my cousin paused the movie. He's like, you're not into that? I'm like, no, bro, this is fucking stupid.
Who would be into that?
Right.
Yeah.
And then I went on, like, a 15-minute, like, rant about how I genuinely believe that it's a reading comprehension problem that Zack Snyder has. Like, I think that I'm not saying he can't read. Like, the dude can read.
He's hooked on phonics.
But he doesn't understand what it is that he's reading. It's the same reason why he directed Watchmen, and it looks really nice visually if you mute it and you're not listening to the horrible musical cues. But the ending doesn't hit the same way because he doesn't. Oh God, he doesn't understand why that ending worked. He doesn't understand why it was tragic that Rorschach was like, "Kill me!" Like, I'm not gonna stop. You know, he didn't.
Or when he
get
made
those
Rorschach
things.
the hero.
Right.
That was weird.
Right.
That was a
So-
weird move.
And then he had an interview.
We should just have a Snyder episode.
where he said he would put Batman in prison, and if it was real prison, Batman would be like prison raped. And that's when I knew
What?
that Zack Snyder was like, if they really wanted to do like Batman Begins and he's like in like horrible jails overseas, he would be getting prison raped. And I'm like, no, he's Batman, dude. Like, you're putting Batman in. What the fuck are you talking about? Like
one of the best martial artists in like the DC world.
Right,
Like,
exactly. Yeah.
He's only the world's greatest detective.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we're gonna
like he wouldn't see it coming
he
as the
couldn't-
world's greatest detective either, right?
Yeah, like he's not going anywhere.
So yeah,
But, okay.
So
Yeah.
it's a reading comprehension problem. He doesn't understand how any of these characters' powers work. He doesn't know what the Speed Force is. He doesn't understand. Superman has heat vision, and Snyder seems to think that that's like what Superman does when he's angry. Like, no, bro. Like, he uses that in conjunction with all of his other powers at the same time. Like, you know what I mean? Wonder Woman isn't just like...
Okay,
oh
you
my God.
are
Yeah.
giving me life
So-
because up until this point, I was that bitch that was like, fuck Snyder and all that stuff. And I always I felt so bad talking so much shit about him. And I'm so glad that you're doing that too.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
So
none
now
of
Juan's
us
that
have ever
bitch.
praised Snyder on this podcast. We're always just
Yeah,
like,
but
So-
you know, there's
Man of
gloves
Steel.
off.
Man of Steel came out on June 15th, 2011 or 2000. Whenever it came out, whatever year it came out on June 15th. I remember that because that's my birthday. That was also the due date for my firstborn.
Oh,
So
wow.
we went and we saw the movie. My wife, 9 months pregnant. We saw the movie. At the time, Drake didn't really move. He was like, he would be in the womb and he would just sleep a lot. He would occasionally move. But my wife was like, I've never felt him move this much while watching the movie. We got out.
So are you implying that your son
He thought it sucked.
was so uncomfortable?
He thought it sucked. He wanted to leave the theater. He wanted to leave the theater.
honestly
Like,
though, if you only listen to Man of Steel, it sounds amazing because Hans Zimmer's score is
The score is
fucking
awesome.
dope.
and,
Dude, I do feel
like-
your pain because Catwoman came out on my birthday.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I do feel your pain.
I'm so sorry, Angela.
Black Widow comes out on
Yeah.
my birthday this year, so I'm really hoping
shut
it's
up.
good.
You
It'll be
get
dope.
out of here.
It'll be
You
dope.
get out of here.
So yeah, no, it's not. I can go on and on and on.
We'll
about how
definitely we'll
Snyder's
do it.
terrible.
Yeah, we'll do a Snyder episode definitely
I guess I'll
again
have
with
to watch
one.
it so I can accurately tell you why it sucks.
Oh.
But yeah, that first hour, no, it's
Yeah.
the exploding shoes. I don't think I've ever been that mad. Like immediately, like I was watching, just kind of like this is terrible, and then I stood up and I
yeah.
was like, I'm done.
Doesn't like the Speed Force like negate friction or something?
Yes, it does. See,
Okay.
that's it. You know how it works, Chandler. Do you see how this This is
Like,
what
like,
happens
why did they
when
explode
you
again? They're not
understand what
supposed
you're
to.
reading. Like,
Yeah.
the fuck? Fucking idiot. Zach's. Oh my god.
I'm like the layman here, and I
Yeah.
understood that.
Yeah. The Speed Force,
see.
wonderful. I love it. I love it.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow, that was a tangent. Back to Winter Soldier and.
Oh yeah, sorry.
talk about
My
them.
last final gripe. Oh, sorry. Good. Oh, my final gripe was when at the climax where Sharon's revealed to be the power broker, and then like Sam comes onto the scene, and then like Carly like tries to fight him, then she gets shot, but then she like never at any point like mentions like, oh hey, she's the power broker. She just like doesn't say anything and ends up dying. I'm like, well,
Right.
okay,
Right. Well,
drama.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I would definitely throw someone under the bus with my dying breath.
Right, me too.
I'm not above it.
And looking back
Like,
on
she's the bad guy.
on that whole scene, Sharon gets shot, and if you watch the rest of the episode, she's pressing against the wound. You never see the blood. Like, I think that's intentional. Like,
Again, factor because she's a scroll.
right.
Shit.
Like,
Dude, you're blowing
So-
my
And
mind.
And you know,
and it
and
would
she-
also
she-
explain why she took a shot to the gut and didn't just immediately bleed out and die if she's a shapeshifter. You know what I'm saying?
You know, and it makes sense. It
Girl.
makes sense because think of how well she took that when, like, she's leaning against a car with Bucky.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm gonna party, and you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And Bucky's like, okay,
All
come
right,
on, let's go. I'm
And
like,
she's like,
listen,
Let's see
you got
what shit
shot.
on you.
by I'm not saying I'm like a badass, but when I had my appendectomy, you know, they take your appendix out, it was like, you know, itty bitty. I couldn't walk because it was like I moved my leg, fucking agonizing pain.
Damn.
I can't imagine like a bullet wound. Like when I was having my like appendix, like every time I moved, I would break out and like sweat. Like the pain was so bad, and I don't know. I always think, wow, she took that shot like a champ.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know women give birth to babies. I get it. I'm just
we
saying.
have a higher tolerance for pain.
I
That's
know,
true.
but I still think though getting shot in the stomach.
I remember especially
She seemed
like,
pretty cash.
when Bucky was like, let's go, and she's like pushing against the wound. That's when I thought about it, because I'm like, we don't see any red, you know, like her hand is there. Like, if anything, it's dark. That's the most that you see, but like it could be blue blood or it could be green blood or blue blood.
Yeah, no, that would have been a
Scroll.
great moment just to piss off all the MRAs out there, just for be like, oh yeah, I got shot in the stomach, but do you know what it's like to have to take off waterproof mascara? And then like as she's walking away, it's like, sisters are doing it for themselves.
That would have been amazing. I want to talk about John Walker.
Yeah, I was just going to bring John Walker up. What did you think about how they wrapped his arc up? I thought they kind of went a little soft on him.
I like this the black and red suit.
I like that, but I mean, like, he
His
shows
partial
up.
redemption.
Yeah, and they, like, Bucky just kind of, like, pats him on the shoulders, be like, you're kind of a dick, but come on, buddy. It's just
well,
like...
no, I feel like he had, in like his mind, he like had redemption, but I don't think anybody else was redeeming him. I think
Right.
everybody was like, you.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
saw some people online read it like they were redeeming him, but it's like the whole point at the end, it's like Julie Louis-Dreyfus. I can never say that name
Wow.
the first time. But, I guess I'll say Val.
Yeah. No.
Val.
Clearly is not operating under like normal, good moral authority here.
No.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that she's like evil, but
No, but I mean,
She is
she's
sketchy.
she's
Yes.
as evil as the U.S. agent is. Like he saves people,
Yeah.
but he then also kills people. He's the shitty version of America.
Well, see, like the Walker stuff, I was actually fine with. The whole turn at the end where he tries to save those people, and put down a shield and stop trying to get revenge against Carly, like that feeds into the character that they gave him in the second episode when his friend told him, "You make the right decisions in the heat of battle." Like,
Yeah, no, I agree with that, but to me, what I'm saying, it's like how Bucky and Sam were just kind of like, I don't know, they seemed a little buddyish after the fight, and I was just like, I feel like you
no
guys would
one
still just be
should
like,
like
all right, you're still a dick.
Get
Right.
away
Like,
from him.
yeah, we had to work
Rob's
together,
just
but
like
you
being
suck.
Regina George.
think-
Rob's just like, no one should talk to you.
I don't know.
You suck.
I honestly kind of took it as like veteran recognizing a veteran. You know,
Yeah.
of being you know, because
they're both
you know,
soldiers, yeah.
exactly. Both and both have been, you know, have not been like all veterans, not really rewarded properly for what they've done for our country, you know. And so I think, like, you know, I'm sure that Bucky's still like, you know, like, "God, this guy's a fucking dick," But and this is just what I know talking to my vet buddies, that there's like an unspoken camaraderie. Be like they're like like William, friend of the show, Will's a war vet, and be like there are people I don't like that I would die for. That like even people who like he was in the army, like people I know who like I know like in the Marines or like whatever, different branches of the armed forces, but they're being this kind of like unspoken, like, this guy's a fucking douchebag, but I will like lay it down on the wire, and I think that probably what that kind of goes into, where Bucky's kind of like he's a dick, but he's also
a soldier.
Again.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's something
arms.
petty bitches like me could never understand. Basically.
Don't talk to her. Don't trust her.
But I also like one of the moments in the show that I really liked is when Carly was just like, it's like, I'm sorry about your friend. We only try to kill people who matter. And he's
Right.
like, you're saying his life doesn't matter? And I was like, that's cold.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially with everything we're doing this right now. That lines like that hit a little bit.
Oh, I know, especially just
Little
saying
bit
any
more.
life matters. And it's just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and that's what I loved about this show. Just everything it hits on. It's so timely with. Yeah, just it was with the current events, and I loved that they brought in Isaiah Bradley
Yeah, that
from
was
Truth, and I loved kind of talking about being a black man in America, being a black superpowered man in America, and like just how you'll never see a black Captain America. And I love that, because he kind of talks down about the idea about a black man willingly becoming Captain America. And I love that that Sam kind of took that in and still went for it anyway. Like one you brought up earlier, just me being here, like people hate me because I'm here and wearing the suit. And I love that he was
and it's also understanding that I think when they did that it's just such a great example of basically educating their audience into understanding that black people aren't a monolith. Like we don't all hold the same opinions,
Right.
because we don't all have the same experiences. Now there is this like universal experience that we have by being American, and it's just like it sucks when you're black and American, but there are like levels to it and like minutia to it and we don't all agree on like what's the shittiest aspect of it. But with Isaiah's experiences, of course he's gonna have like so much more of a raw bitterness than someone like Sam would. Because Sam, I think, got the best of America, and when I say that, I mean like Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
Someone like Steve Rogers in his corner, that is like having the best of America. Isaiah didn't have that.
No, I mean he was in prison and experimented on, and but I just thought that I thought he had such a satisfying arc, and that scene in the Smithsonian at the end,
that's one of the moments where the waterworks just
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
it was
Carly
great.
Well, and it
Lomley
was kind
acted
of-
the shit out of that role.
Well, he was saying that he could never go public,
right.
and Sam did it in a way where it was just like, oh,
Right.
yeah, you
And now
can.
they're
Like
gonna
if we
leave
make
him
it
alone,
like
and- yeah.
they have to leave you
They
alone.
can't touch him now. Like,
Yeah, that was so good. That was so
Great.
satisfying.
and it makes
And,
me very
yeah.
excited for Young Avengers future. Like I am all
Patriot.
all about it. Yeah, Patriot. And, I've already seen Speed and Wiccan, and
Yep.
pretty soon we'll see Stature and
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye. That's right.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be good. I was so satisfied with Falcon and Winter Soldier. It was kind of, yeah. I loved it, and I hope, like I was saying earlier, that we get more Sam and Bucky, and kind of. Bucky gets his own arc. I will say this about Falcon and Winter Soldier. It kind of changed my mind a bit about Sam being Captain America. I remember going back to the Remender run. I remember being kind of bummed about Sam being Captain America, and I remember I had to very carefully explain my thought about this because it could easily be like, oh, just because you don't want a black guy being Captain America. And my feeling was, it'd be one thing if I think for me, because like Sam already had his own identity as Falcon, and I thought like kind of taking one character and forcing him into somebody else's role. Looking like I thought it'd be one thing if if Captain America had befriended like a new black character who eventually became Captain America, I would be okay with. I think I sort of felt bad for Falcon.
Right.
Like if we want more representation, let's get a new character while also giving Falcon his own book. You know what I mean? Like, so that was sort of my thought about that, because I remember saying like I
remember that
it's not a race thing. Like I'm all for there being a black Captain America. It's kind of like remember when people were there was rumors going around that Will Smith was going to be Captain America. He was auditioning, and I said Will Smith can't be Captain America, and everyone's like, that's a fucked up thing to say. It's like, listen, let me rephrase that. Will Smith can be Captain America, he can't be Steve Rogers. Like, there's a reason why Steve Rogers has blonde hair and blue eyes.
Right.
Fighting in World War II. Same reason why Luke Cage has to be black.
Yeah.
So I thought my idea wasn't that there should be a black Captain America. I just thought because you already had a black character who has his own history, his own identity. I just kind of felt like it was kind of giving Sam a raw deal.
I get what you're saying.
But
also in the comics, it didn't the progression of the story, because it's just like in that sense, like Captain America just was an old man at that point,
right?
And he's like, I need somebody to be Captain America, and they just had like Falcon save the day once, and they're just like, there's only one guy for the job.
Yeah,
Sam.
It was a little clunky the way it rolled out in the comics.
Whereas here they got to lay it out
and
with the movies too, and they earn it, and it all makes sense, and it's
and that's what I was gonna say. Like this really changed my my thoughts about Sam being Captain America, because his journey now versus the comic book, like I fully support it.
Well,
I'm all for it. So I think that's also a good sign of storytelling, where it kind of made me like, you know what, like I love this trajectory for the character now. But he also, there's a part of me that would love to see like a Winter Soldier Cap too. If like Sam wanted to go on vacation,
I would personally love it, because being Puerto Rican, Bucky Cap's costume is basically a Puerto Rican flag, and I have never loved the costume more than when he's just in the black with the red, white, and blue. It's like he's a walking Boricua. Like, this is incredible. Like, he needs to be Captain America forever. But no, I mean the show definitely took its time with how it played with Sam's indecisiveness in the beginning, to then him fully embracing what he should have done to begin with. And the showrunners are really smart and clearly do comprehend the comics that they read, because they worked in the way they worked in the John Walker stuff. They basically replaced Steve Rogers with Sam, because John Walker gets introduced in the comics, and after Steve Rogers quit, and quickly thereafter his parents get killed and he loses it, same way that he did in the show. And subbing in Sam for Steve works in this case. Giving Sam that costume works at the end in this case.
Right.
Except
I think it's just really...
Except the neck.
Well, I think it's just really cool that this show was just executed so well, and that we all get to kind of walk away from it feeling satisfied that we got something from it, and the fact that it is 42 minutes into this episode, and I think I've been doing really, really well, and I think it's time for us to talk about the real shit.
Mortal Kombat!
Mortal Kombat!
Yeah.
Have you listened to the remix version of that song?
I did.
Techno Syndrome remix.
I woke up. So
sorry, my 2-year-old is walking around, so he'll be making noise.
That's
cool. Yeah, so this is what we needed in our lives right now. I thought I was very patient.
You were. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna have a lot to say, but can I just say I knew I would like this movie. The 20 minutes of it I saw, when the guy had a birthmark that was the Mortal Kombat logo, and I was like, That's so dumb. I love this movie.
So, okay. So I do want to read. I watched the movie twice. And the second time I was like, I'm going to do thorough notes. And I just wanted to show you guys my thorough notes. They're
Nice.
exactly 5 lines. That's it. 5 lines. And I wanted to read them all to you right now. Just throwing them out there. This is what I wrote from my second viewing, okay? So that tender ass opening sequence, they acted the shit out of that. Okay.
Agreed.
Then Kano was MVP.
Yes.
Then I said Shang Tsung wine lips. And then queer coded Liu Kang.
Yes.
Those are my notes for my second viewing.
Yeah.
Agree
The
with
guy
all
who
those.
played Kano is in Superstore. He used to be the pharmacist. I don't know if you guys watch Superstore,
Oh yeah.
but the pharmacist is one
Oh.
of the funnier characters on that show because he was always like just popping pills. And that motherfucker played Kano, and he murdered it. Like he was
so
awesome.
funny. I mean, Paul was saying that Kano kind of like annoyed him, but like for me, like he was, oh my god, like when Sonya, it's revealed that she doesn't have a mark, and in the background he's like wah wah.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
That was amazing.
That was great. No, my thing with Kano, this is totally superficial. His beard, it just reminded me so much of Robin Williams when he comes back from Jumanji. And that's like all I could think of. Like, give that dude a turtle helmet, and I actually kind of kept waiting for somebody to call him out, like, "Hey, Jumanji," and just tone it down with the eye. I was waiting for that. But I mean, that's minor. He was great though. I thought he was great.
Yeah. No, he was so fun. Yeah, it was oh god. Kano was so good. He was so just delightful.
Such a troll.
Because he is, and he's like one of those characters, because I've never ever liked Kano. I don't like him in the series. I don't like him the video game series. I didn't like him in the movie. Like, he's one of those characters you're supposed to hate. And this actor inadvertently made me love him.
Twirling your anal beads. I died.
And his whole like arcana like came out from wanting an egg roll.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a scene.
Yeah. But that, like, I think I feel like the second time watching it was a lot easier because, like, the one thing that I really didn't like about the movie was Cole. I could not stand Cole or his presence because he was the avatar for the audience, and I was like, why? Like,
got
we're
a
all
family.
millennials. Yeah, no, we're all millennials. We know what this is about. We're gonna show up to the movie. You didn't need to do this. Like, but
And his arcana is like skin suit.
yeah, it's literally
Sweater.
just like he's Black Panther. So I was like, oh, but the second time watching it, once I had accepted his presence, like, I felt like I could enjoy the movie a lot more.
Yeah, I'll have to watch it again. I will say the fight scenes though, the choreography was fantastic.
It's out of control.
Yeah, way better
Yeah, like, I was-
than the originals, for sure. Like, the fight scene you could actually
yeah.
follow. Like, it was dope.
Yeah.
And if you guys have HBO Max, you can actually watch the extra features. They have these little like 3-minute vignettes on the making of. And one of the things that the director was saying to his stunt team was that, you know, everything that you've ever wanted to do in a movie that you weren't allowed to do or weren't able to do it for this. And so they were able to take the actual combo moves from the game and incorporate it with what it is that their hearts desired, and it translated so well.
Absolutely.
I mean, that opening sequence with
Oh yeah, that was beautiful.
brutal. Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, and both those actors, like, are that Scorpion is incredible in Westworld. And
Yes, he is.
Yes.
I don't know if anybody's seen a movie called The Raid.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
but
I've heard
Sub-Zero
about it. I have not
is-
seen
Raid
it.
is so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I kind of feel like we need to end the podcast now so you guys could just go watch The Raid. Like, it's so good. It's so unbelievably good.
Put it on the
and he's
list.
in it.
Yeah.
And the Raid 2.
Raid.
Just watch both of them back to back.
Yes,
You'll be-
and actually, yeah, The Raid 2 definitely benefits from being watched after the first one because it is so tied closely to the first one. Yeah.
All right, so we'll have to set some time aside then to kind of do a double feature.
Hiroyuki Sanada and Joe Taslim, is that how you say his last name?
I think so.
Joe Taslim, I think he does like judo. He's like a judo champion or something. And like he like I guess was moving so fast that they had to tell him to slow down because the camera couldn't pick it up.
Oh,
That's
wow.
awesome. That's awesome.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. So I think starting the movie with those two, like it kind of forced everybody else to kind of rise to their level.
Yeah.
So it was really noticeable when an actor wasn't. And I think the person that got to do Sonia was incredible. I thought the acting actually was really solid.
And I actually,
good.
and I like that that they didn't have like big name people. Like people,
Yes.
you'd be like, oh, that guy who was in that thing.
I love the Asian representation. Like Raiden was actually Asian this time.
Yes.
And I'm like,
Yeah,
cool.
Raiden was the same actor who played Jackie Chan in Thor.
Ah, cool.
Well, that's what they called him.
That is what they're
I didn't.
doing.
That wasn't
You're being
my line.
racist. You're racist.
That's what they say though. It's like, oh, we got a Xena, Robin Hood, Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
The character was racist, and I'm a victim.
I think
Wow.
I think part of the thing I liked about having kind of no names or like just not huge celebrities play most of the cast was, to me, it gave me the same vibe of watching like a random 90s action movie, like a Jean-Claude
Yeah.
Van Damme movie.
Yeah.
Because it had the same, like, it was so corny.
Yeah, very
But-
B movie.
Yeah, it was such a B movie, but like, I don't know, it was very endearing.
It looked good. It was a good looking.
Yeah, and the action was incredible. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know, the whole thing's just like, quick, you have a birthmark too? Come to my board with a bunch of stuff stuck to it. I'm like, this is, I love this so much.
Yeah, but at the same time, that is such a Sonya and Jax move
Right.
that they would be like the conspiracy theorists, like we got to figure out what this
Where they're both
means. You know, that's
military,
like
so they'd be gathering
yeah,
intelligence.
special forces.
That's actually a fatality move. They just bored people to death with like conspiracy
Conspiracy
theories on the
theories.
wall.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, that's the best
No, but
fatality
it's-
ever.
It's
That's
so
great.
goofy. It's so silly, and it's so goofy, but it's so much fun.
I wanted more Goro. Like there was so much teasing with Goro, like the Goro statues, the Goro painting, the Goro shadow, and then he
he got
gets taken
jobbed.
out by an axe.
Yeah.
Well, and
So-
it's hard with Goro because, like, you know, that's something that ruined it the first viewing for me. Why I had such a hard time was that Cole fucking beat Goro,
Yeah, like,
and I was like, how
Cole's
dare
not-
As an
you?
insult
He's not
to
in
Goro.
any of the games, any of the new ones, right? He's just totally
No.
made up for this movie.
He's a made-up character to be the avatar for, like, audience members who may not be familiar.
Just dumb. It just should have been Liu Kang.
Should like
Any other pre-existing
no man, it should
character.
have been Nightwolf,
Yeah.
or Striker, or any.
did you
other
notice they
person
did
that you
have-
could bring-
The Easter eggs were really helpful, I think, for losers like me who are just like, oh, like, why are they making up a new character? And then you see like Kotal Khan and like a statue of Kotal Khan,
Right.
like an ancient statue, and then you have like, you know, Shinnok's amulet, and then you have like a
Katana's
weird
fan.
drawing of what? Oh yeah,
Katana's fan.
Katana's fan in the
Well,
background.
it's like a Nightwolf sketch.
There is a
Yeah.
Nightwolf sketch. Like it's like so. Oh god, I had so much fun.
Maybe they'll time travel
It's
and
so
they'll bring
much fun.
Nightwolf from.
Well, okay, so
I feel like
I
maybe I
did
should
notice.
watch it again. Like
You should.
I need to
Yes, you
finish
should.
it. I need to finish it.
You need to watch it again because it's just so freaking much fun. But like yeah, like they had so many Easter eggs, and so I do know that the writer for this was trying. He wanted to do 3 movies. He wanted to do a trilogy. He wanted to have pre-tournament, and then the second movie be the tournament, and then the third be post-tournament. So
very cool.
which is a pretty risky thing to
Yeah.
do because there's no guarantee, but like
yeah.
I think that there's a lot of losers out there like me that are like, I'm gonna watch this movie 1,000,000 times, so they like, you know,
Right.
I know
make
somebody
it.
who's watched it 4 times. What's up, Dale?
Yeah, it was kind of like it was kind of weird because like it was like not they were talking about, oh, the tournament's going to start, but they were doing all this fighting before the tournament. I'm like,
Yeah,
wait, where's the
yeah.
actual tournament?
So
makes a
I
lot of
think that
sense.
they were doing some throwaway characters because they have like characters in there that are just aren't really essential and like not even like really fan favorites, but are just like nice. And because I think everybody was wondering where the hell's Katana. If we're seeing Melina, where is Katana?
right.
But I think that's what we're gonna get in the
Or
second movie, and I
Jade.
really hope they do a second one.
Go for the same
Jade,
actor
oh.
because like it's supposed to be
Smoke,
twins.
or Noob Saibot.
See, and I want to see
Noob Saibot.
Scarlet.
Yeah.
I want to see Scarlet so bad.
Scarlet. Yeah, there's. I mean,
But Jade is like up there.
I
as, like, a
missed Jade in
character I need.
Annihilation. She was that girl. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Annihilation. I remember Annihilation was the first time I ever felt disappointed in a movie theater. Like I was so excited because I loved the first Mortal Kombat
Yeah, I was right
movie.
there with you.
You saw that in the theater?
I saw that in a theater.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And it was. I remember being like, I don't know. I mean, what was it? 97? It came
95.
out something. Well,
No,
Mortal
the first
Kombat
one was 95. The second
Annihilation
one was
97.
97.
Yeah.
So I would have been like 12 years old, and already like I guess when the critic in me was born, I was like, okay. So the production value was poor.
They
I
killed
hate the
Johnny
cinematography.
like 2 minutes in.
And then you guys killed Johnny
Oh, my
Cage
God.
immediately? Like, what?
I know that I
hurt.
hated that.
That hurt.
It still
Yeah.
bothers me. Like, I'm still not over
Yeah.
It
it.
should.
Yeah.
It should, because it's fucking bullshit.
Although that was nice
And-
at the end. Well, we can't really say too much because I just realized Rob hasn't finished watching
Oh,
it.
I don't care. Spoil it. It's Mortal Kombat.
Well,
Yeah,
just-
it's great.
It's about
No, they're
people
gonna-
with birthmarks who go fight demons. Like,
Transfer birthmarks like
I
STDs.
do love, I don't know.
Explain a movie poorly.
So the second time, this is what I love, and you're gonna see it, I guess, your first finished viewing, Rob, but that friendship bracelet that his daughter makes in like the earlier sequence, like it's from that his armor comes from. And I was laughing. I thought that was the greatest thing ever. I was like, that is so stupid. It made me so happy.
Okay.
God, the eye roll I just did when you told me that.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
so- oh my god, when that happened,
I didn't
I
know that
died.
either.
I
Love his
died.
family. This is
So
Akana.
fun.
No, you knew that was happening. When Kano was getting fucking upset about an egg roll, it's like, oh, you know, the family's gonna be. It's like Chekhov's gun. You know, if a family's introduced in the first act,
Yep.
they're gonna have a
Be the
near-death
catalyst,
experience in
yeah.
the third.
But
Yeah,
I do.
like,
I think we really, in this, I think Chandler and I really have to take a moment to talk about Liu Kang.
Yes.
First of all, the hair. Okay,
Beautiful.
like one of the things about
Layered.
the original Mortal Kombat movie, in 1995 was Liu Kang's hair. Like that's like the thing that I will always remember and hold dear to my heart from that first film. So when I saw him with equally fabulous hair, I was very,
That
very
was his
happy.
art.
And the way he like
That was his-
he like moves his like belt scarf, like he like splits it. I'm like, oh,
Oh my god,
Style.
yes, and he's gorgeous. He was already. I was like, okay, I don't know what is going on with Liu Kang, but he is fucking gorgeous.
He shows up in the
And
baggy
then-
shirt, and then you see him
Yeah.
with the shirt off. I was like, oh, okay.
When he takes his shirt
Wow.
off, we're like,
Wow.
excuse me?
who gave you the right?
I know. His muscles had muscles. Like, I was like, how dare you?
no, like any question about Mortal Kombat? Yeah, how dare you?
Yeah.
It was like prayer
Beautiful.
beads.
Oh my god. Oh god. And he had his sash like up to his nipples, and I was all about it. I loved
High waisted.
all of it. Yeah, but I definitely noticed the queer coding.
Yeah. I
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
I'm so glad I
yeah.
wasn't the only one.
was kind of upset with Kung Lao. I wanted to see more Kung Lao. He was awesome.
I did, yeah.
He got a pretty sweet fatality in though.
Yeah. The
He
buzzsaw.
had the best
Yeah,
fatality.
that was the best
Well,
one.
I like the Scorpion Sub-Zero fight at the end. It's pretty.
Oh, yeah.
cool. The whole.
But like
Yeah.
when he was on the back of what's her face, was her name Natara or whatever,
Yeah.
the
The
ugh.
wing
Okay.
person.
Oh my god.
What a throwaway character.
Yeah.
What a throwaway character, but at the same time, I was all about it.
I was like, shouldn't you be in the live-action Gargoyle movie?
Right.
Yeah, she's so beautiful. I was like, oh my god, yes.
Like, calm down.
But like when as soon as he was on her back, I was like, oh my god, it's gonna happen. And then he like moved the hat, and it was, oh god,
Yeah, it was good.
so
It
good,
was good.
so good. All of it was so good.
Flawless.
Like, and there's like
victory.
little details, like with Melina, like when she opens her mouth, her cheeks like tear, so it like heals
Right.
and then like tears again when she opens her mouth too wide. That's,
pretty
like
gross.
crazy.
She looked awesome.
Yeah, she looks.
She
good.
looks so awesome.
She's thick.
I really hope they use the same actress to do Katana.
Yeah, they're supposed to be
They
clones.
should.
It's like they're
too.
twins or
You
whatever.
kind of have to, right?
You have to, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they can't do like a Margot Robbie as. Like, wait, what?
No, hell no. No, because I'm okay with the black katana.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so okay with that. And then like, but yeah, but like, you know, Melina is like her clone, so it's gonna have to have like a somewhat similar actress.
It's the same actress.
And it would be, I think it would just be really like icky if they were just like, oh, you know, just like a lighter skinned version. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so the bad version's darker. That's just kind of not. That,
You know they're gonna do it. You know
it's 20. I know. But I feel like if we say it out loud and say, hey guys, we're watching you, then maybe they'll listen and say no.
Yeah.
It's wishful thinking, but
Our hair
no
is so
colorism.
straight.
Now I'm super curious as to what's gonna happen with these next two movies.
I don't, you know, I'm in.
Post tournament, like I'm
That-
all
I really
for it.
like that
that
idea.
I think
structure.
it's
very
fabulous.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
think it's fabulous.
Sonya's arm cannons. Those are awesome.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. We definitely got to get Johnny Cage.
I gotta
you know
s-
who I... I'm sorry.
No. What were you saying?
I don't know if this is like sacrilegious to say, but you know who I keep seeing as Johnny Cage, who I actually think would be a good Johnny Cage?
Zac Efron. I was
well,
joking,
actually-
but okay.
Oh, well, that was me
could,
taking.
actually.
That was me respecting your opinion,
you.
giving it some weight.
appreciate
I was
it.
thinking about it. No, I was gonna say Chris Evans. Like,
Yeah.
I think about Chris Evans in fucking Fantastic Four. Like, you know,
he
like
can
he was
play
like
a
cocky
douchebag
and, like,
really well.
He could do it.
He
He
was
can
also
play
a douchebag
douchebag.
in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah,
That's right.
Ryan Reynolds, I think, could do it as well.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that'd be fun.
That'd be pretty amazing. But I like the idea of continuing with like kind of the more no-name
My
actors.
choice for Johnny Cage is a wrestler.
Ooh.
Mike the Miz. The Miz
I don't know who
would
that
be a
is.
perfect
Les Miz.
wrestler with the perfect
Mike the
Johnny Cage. His character is basically Johnny Cage in wrestling.
Oh, okay.
He's full of himself.
Oh, here he is.
He's
Yeah.
super into
Oh, look
himself.
at that.
And
Wow, he would be a
Oh,
good
he
Johnny
looks
Cage.
great.
looks
Oh, yeah.
with the glasses and
Yeah,
especially
Yeah.
you probably are looking
absolutely.
for pictures of him on the red carpet.
Yep,
Like he
there's,
has
there's a
fighting
picture of him
skills.
doing this, and
Yep.
I'm like, yeah,
He's
that's
perfect.
Johnny Cage.
Like I'm telling you,
Yeah.
Perfect.
Like,
And wrestlers are some
Batista,
of the best actors.
The Rock.
They are. The Rock, Batista,
Roddy
like right
Piper.
there. Wrestlers are amazing. But I do love how like this game has always been so culturally diverse, and the white people that are in it are like token white people. It's not so much like, you know, like Johnny Cage is like a douchey white guy.
Right.
Like that's,
Yeah, it's just
you
Sonya
know,
and Johnny.
he's in his lane.
Right.
Why'd you
And-
look at me when you said that?
I didn't look at you when I said that.
It's because it's a podcast and they can't. Anyway, all right, I'll leave.
Thank you.
Oh.
No, come back.
Oh,
Come back. Yeah, I thought that it's just it's fun and it just, oh my god, this whole movie made me so happy.
it really
I'm
did.
definitely gonna have to go back. And
It made
watch
you so
for a
happy.
second
It
time
did.
after
Yeah.
after this conversation. I'll be
I know.
watching
I
it a
think
lot
I think I may have to watch it after we record
It's so
this.
much fun.
Awesome.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, you know what? I think. Yeah, I mean, I had to let go of the 1995 movie because I still love this movie. We watched it not too long ago, and I was like, yeah, this still holds up.
It does.
Yeah.
The opening sequence, as far as 90s movies go,
Yeah.
there's some 90s movies where you're like, ooh, this has not aged well. Hell, you look at X-Men, and some of that has not
No,
aged
a
well.
lot of it hasn't aged well. But my
Most of it
only
hasn't.
problem with the 95 movie is the same problem I've had when I saw it. And that's Raiden should not be played by Highlander, period. I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
care.
totally.
Like, I love...
you know, okay, so
Highlander,
I am gonna be a little bit.
No.
I'm gonna do that thing that like white guys do when
I
they just
don't
want to
think so.
disagree. They're like, I'm gonna be devil's advocate. I think it kind of adds to the charm because it's so inappropriate. It's like so inappropriate. You're like, how dare you? It's
Yeah,
so
and
bad.
Then the lightning and the Highlander.
He's also not human, so it's like not.
And like they kept him out of the hat for a reason because they knew.
They
They're like,
knew.
this is
They knew.
really
Yeah,
inappropriate. It's
That's
so
true.
bad.
Yeah.
And the fighting was just terrible. But I have to say the one thing that the 95 film has over this current iteration is the music.
Yeah, the music's incredible. in that
How
movie.
great would that have been at that last like sequence? Because there's a point where the movie kind of breaks and they all go and they like fight like one-on-one with these people and it's kind of like a montage. How great would it have been with that original soundtrack in the
I would have
background?
stood up off the couch and like started dancing. Like I would have.
Yeah.
I would have.
Yeah.
I would have turned all the lights off and popped some glow sticks and been into that. Like I was waiting
Like I
for it.
would have peed and like wept with joy. It would have been amazing. But like, I mean that because like I know they did like the updated like version with like
synthy
dubstep,
version.
and dubstep hasn't
Yeah.
been a thing for like the last like 6 years. I don't know why, but yeah, but I don't know. I think the original is still holds true. And actually, we just before doing this podcast, we watched the intro to the 95 because we were talking about how great it was with the flames coming
out of the-
through, like
yeah.
the symbol with the dragon, and like,
So good.
and I danced. I did dance
awesome.
when we watched it.
And actually, that would have been great if you took the cold open that they did for the new movie, and then cut to that 1995 opening, and then back to the movie,
That yeah.
like just like it's all sad and solemn, and like
There's somebody on the
Oh,
internet
God.
who's doing that right now.
I hope they
Like-
are. I hope they are, and they deserve an Oscar.
Yeah.
yeah,
Just an Oscar.
Yeah.
They're not affiliated with any like real film. Just
yeah.
Yeah.
they get an
That would be-
Oscar
Just
for
find
that cut.
an Oscar somewhere and give it to him.
Yep.
Just
Yeah.
give it to him because that's amazing.
It's a picture of somebody named Oscar.
That's just.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I do have a question for everybody. Who do you want in the sequel? What characters is like your must that you must see, and that you really want?
I want Nightwolf. That's just because his fatality was like always one of my favorites. Like the beam light from the moon.
Oh, yeah.
It's so dope.
Wait, what was his fatality?
He would
It's
like
like the
take his
moonlight.
tomahawk and like stand and like look up at the sky, and then suddenly like from the moon you'd get beamed with like light, and you'd get annihilated, like
That's awesome.
It's pretty great.
Wolverine Sentinel Blast type. Yeah.
God,
So
okay.
that's just me.
No,
But
that's cool.
there's so many characters to choose from.
Yeah, Rob Chandler, we guys got
Jade
Who
and
d-
Smoke, personally.
Smoke.
I don't know enough about Mortal Kombat to have an opinion.
Oh, we have to have Baraka too. We can't like. It's not Mortal Kombat without Baraka.
Yeah.
Right.
Technically, they already put him in a movie. It was called Wolverine Origins, but we're not going to talk about that.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
You know.
I'm trying to think who else.
I was really
I mean,
excited.
we
Weird to see
know-
Cabal because wasn't Cabal a good guy for like the longest time. He like made him like
He was
a
kind
bad
of
guy.
back and forth.
He's
wasn't he?
always been
Yeah.
more of one of the neutrals.
whatever suits his needs.
Like him and like Devora, I think, are big neutral characters that can kind of, whatever, serves their purpose. But like, yeah, I Jade is somebody I really want to see. I think just like my heart. I mean, we need Katana. We have to have Johnny Cage.
Shao Kahn.
I mean, we know we're gonna
Yeah.
get Noob Saibot
Yeah.
because Bihan is like the first Sub-Zero, so we know that we're gonna
Also
get
his fan favorite. So
Noob Saibot.
Noob Saibot.
And it's a fun name to say. So, yeah.
It is. It really is. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Any of the
but it would
cyborg
be nice
dudes?
to see Reptile and not in like human form. Would be
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, that was
Not
weird.
a
Like, he's
CGI.
thinking of an actual reptile. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, you're mute. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, why is reptile an actual reptile? That's so lame.
Yeah, I want to see because I remember having the reptile action figure, and it was like, I mean, granted, it was just a repaint of Scorpion. It was just like
Yeah, that's all
with
it
the
is.
green, but
Mm-hmm.
I want to see that. I want to see that in a movie.
I wouldn't mind seeing Rain either.
Yeah.
Rain would just be fun. That's just fun for everybody.
Yeah,
Rain.
that would be pretty fantastic. I want to see that, and
Sindel, maybe?
I think the gays would die. Like every single one of them in America would just like
Yeah,
their heart would stop.
That's what-
That should
all
be-
their hearts would stop.
That's the only reason why I liked Annihilation was Sindel and Jade. Just like,
what if
gays
what if there
die.
was a category on RuPaul's Drag Race?
girls and the
Category
gays.
is Mortal Kombat realness.
Yeah. Everybody would go with Sindel.
Right.
Like every single one
It would
of
just
them
be like
would
that Madonna thing
it
all
would
over again.
With the kimono?
Yeah.
With Sindel? Yeah.
the gays came for the girls. That's all.
That would be amazing.
Like, oh God. Yeah, but I think I don't know. I mean, thinking about like a queer coded Liu Kang.
That was-
I mean, I know
Yeah. I don't know.
I know that queer baiting is a thing, and I know that people are really like, oh, they're just queer baiting, and I'm kind of okay with it. I know though, like I'm coming from like a straight chick, but then again, I'm like also like black, so it's I'm practically gay. It's
Basically,
all
it's intersectionality. It works.
It is intersectionality, and like gay culture comes from black women, and like yeah, it's all connected. But I think that like even if they do like break out of that and have him pursue the relationship with Katana, which is what is canon,
Well, what if he was just bi?
or he's bi.
Works
But
for me.
that moment when he was like talking to him about his like weird like childhood with like the pins in his arm,
Yeah.
he's cauterizing the wound and talking about this weird like pedophile that like he took the mark from. I'm like, what is happening? I loved it.
And then, like, when Kung Lao dies, like, it's like, oh, we're lost. But, like, he was like, I can't live without him. That's what it really was.
That was like he broke down. But and how great would it be if they bring him back as like a revenant from like the nether realm? Like, so Kung Lao, and he has to fight Kung Lao.
Oh, and then to bring it back, he could be like, Kung Lao? Who the hell is Kung Lao?
Oh, God.
There you go.
All right, I'm back.
So I want to repeat that for one. We were saying, because I know he'd appreciate it.
Okay.
Like, if was it like, so because Kung Lao died in the movie.
Yes.
And if he comes back.
And then Liu Kang has to fight him.
Right. And then.
As a revenant, though.
Right. So it's, like, former friends, enemies fighting each other. And if he was like Kung Lao? Who the hell is Kung Lao? As a winter.
But in the other realm, they all know who they are.
Right.
Sorry, I'm ruining it.
That's all right. It's all good.
But like you guys, yeah, definitely play Mortal Kombat 11 and like Aftermath. And they get the actor who played Shang Tsung in the 95 movie to do the voice work, and they like modeled Shang Tsung after him in the game.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So
Amazing.
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, cool.
He is Shang Tsung. He just is
he's
Shang
iconic.
Tsung.
Yeah.
It's iconic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the new
he
Shang
was in
Tsung,
the,
I don't know if you guys talked about it or not, but the new one is the guy that's really good at calculations from The Dark Knight.
That's all I could
That's
think of. When I saw that, I was like, I am good at calculations. Yeah.
I thought he did good. You know who I was really disappointed with? Really, was Raiden. I thought he was flat.
Well, they also didn't. I feel like they didn't give him much to do, and he didn't even have not even exposition dump. I feel like they had other characters kind of do that for him.
He just seemed like he
Sony
was
did a lot
just
of
very
exposition.
like moody
Yeah.
and
He was just like, I'm disappointed.
he was very disappointed.
And, like, didn't even, like, train anybody. He just, like, disappeared.
Yeah.
He just said no and walked away.
Well, maybe
Like, I could
there's
do
more in the
that.
sequel.
We'll see.
Hopefully. But he was the only one that I was a little like, oh, it's a little flat. But I think that if you noticed at the end when Shang Tsung was like, oh, death is only like a portal or whatever the hell, he didn't take all of his champions. He took just Goro and Bihan.
His faves.
So
So he has more champions
maybe we're gonna
when
get
he
them back as revenants in the next one.
Cool.
Or
Yeah, I liked it. I'm gonna have to watch it again. I'll probably like it some more.
I mean, Shiva would be a cool addition too. I wouldn't mind seeing Shiva.
Oh, yeah.
What was the Minotaur guy in Mortal Kombat 3?
Kintaro, isn't that his name?
Was it
I thought it
Kintaro?
was Kintaro. I thought that's the Minotaur dude who had like the four
Oh, I
arms.
thought it was Derek.
from The Good Place. Man, I wish it was Derek from The Good Place.
That would be
With
fantastic.
wind chimes where his private should be.
No, Kintaro is the Thundercats one. He's like the Thundercats Goro.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. I want him.
Thundercats Goro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The developers were like, let's do
Oh, it's Motaro.
Goro.
Motaro.
Motaro.
Yeah, I haven't played.
I don't know.
Since,
I mean-
like, really since like 3 or 4.
I did start playing it again. It's been like, because the game came out in like 2019,
Yeah, it's been a
and I
while.
played it like crazy, and then I stopped, and now I'm starting to play it again.
I want to replay the first two. Like the OG 90s.
Oh, they're bad.
Yeah, sometimes
They're amazing.
I can't do stuff like that. Like I'm the type of person like I can have positive memories about things I played as a kid, but as I get older and technology gets better, I'm just not gonna fuck with it anymore. Like I'm just not. I've
Greg, it's
moved
too
on.
much.
Like, graphically, I've moved on with my life. So
Emotionally.
yeah.
The last
moved on.
3 video games that I've played to completion were PlayStation 1 games.
Wow.
This year.
Oh wow. Okay.
As you can see, if you can see behind me, I have a
Oh,
CRT
wow, look at
television with
that.
my old video game consoles.
Wow.
It's all-
Nice.
Holy crap.
That is awesome.
Look at that. That is, look at you. Living the dream.
If we like combined all of our collections, we would have like an insane museum.
We would be like a 9-year-old from 1994's like dream.
Yeah, me in the 90s seeing what I have now, like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
TV I got for free off of Craigslist back in the 90s was $3,000.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep.
That's like your first year at college right there.
I wish my first year was only $3,000.
But in the 90s, you know,
I
it was a lot
guess, yeah.
cheaper. Not that much, but it was more cheap. It was cheaper than it is now. That's
Yeah.
for
For
sure.
sure.
True that.
God, I hate it here.
So yeah.
All right.
So the consensus is check out Winter Soldier, check out Mortal Kombat,
Yes.
and check out what we've been reading, watching, listening to this week. What's everyone been doing apart from Falcon, Winter Soldier, Mortal Kombat?
Is there anything else?
I don't know. Maybe that's why I asked the group. It's tradition. We end the
I
show
just
with
got Marvel Unlimited like a month ago, so I've been finally reading
Yes.
the Jonathan Hickman, Dawn of X stuff.
nice.
Yeah, that dude he's like, there are some people who I feel like are too good to be writing comics. Like,
Yeah, he's definitely one of them.
Like,
Yeah.
he's
His Fantastic Four.
his Fantastic Four run is perfect. Like, going all the way through the end of Secret Wars. Like, that's one arc for Doom
Yeah.
and Reed.
So
Yeah.
good.
So yeah, I've been really enjoying that.
What's your favorite title so far?
I like the miniseries a lot, and then they split off into like the monthlies. And I thought I would probably be picking like X-Men because it's still Hickman. But honestly, like, I've read the first 3 issues of each. I think Marauders is my favorite one. It's fun.
Marauders is
Marauders.
It's really
Yeah.
fun. Like,
It's
There's a
it's
lot
so
of queer
good.
baiting in there, Angela.
Oh, yeah?
It's
Send it my way.
it's just such a great premise with the
and
you know
Shadowcat.
like Kitty Pryde. Yeah. That's it's good.
Yeah.
It is good.
All right. All right.
Um,
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. I don't know if you had more or
No. I mean, I'm
Okay.
just trying to think of like other stuff I've been reading, and I've just been like, those books are all tie together. So like, once you read one,
Yeah.
you have to read like all the number 1s, all the number 2s, all the number 3s.
that's how they get you.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I have the app. So
Yeah, I love the app. I think it's great. I think everybody should get it. And it's I have read so many good things in that, you know, like yeah, just do it. Just do it. It's really good. How about you, Chandler? Anything on your radar?
Similar to Juan, I've been reading Dawn of X stuff. Most recently, I read the first Cable Trade. It's actually pretty funny. I wasn't expecting it to be funny at all, but it was actually like there's a lot of like trolling and like meta humor and stuff. So
Okay.
it was good.
I don't know how I feel about Cable being young again,
did
but
I
I'll
miss
check it
that
out.
somewhere? Did they address that? Or do they address
Yeah,
that?
it was like
Or did that happen before the Dawn of X stuff? Like, that's one of the things
Yeah.
I've been super confused about.
Yeah, it was weird. Like younger Cable killed the old version of himself. Maybe it's best if you don't know.
Okay.
It's just really
That's
convoluted.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Convoluted in X-Men. What? What are
Time
you talking
travel.
about?
What? Yeah.
Convoluted in comics. I
Yeah,
randomly
seriously.
read the first issue of, is it King in Black? Or the King that's
King in Black.
King in Black?
The king that's
It's a king that's black.
I knew
that's black.
I knew it wasn't that. I was like, it's something. But
I know it's like that Venom thing.
yeah,
King
so I read the
Venom
first
or-
trade
yeah.
of that and I was like, okay, this is interesting, but I have no idea what the shit led up to this.
Yeah.
So then I was like, maybe I should read Venom, but then I was like, I don't know, I have to do some research first. But
yeah.
yeah, all of a sudden they're just like, he's coming. The Venom guy, he's gonna take over the world. I'm like, wait, what guy? How do they know? But what's happening? Eddie Brock is
Yeah.
alive. What?
Is it-
I think it's Donny Cates.
I was gonna say, yeah, if it's Donny Cates, it stands a chance to be actually probably entertaining.
The art, I have to say, is freaking awesome, which was shocking to me because I feel like a lot of the event comics I've read recently, unless they were like from one of like the few pillars of like really good Marvel art, have been kind of meh.
Okay.
King in Black artist. Sorry, I didn't do my research properly. Ryan Stegman is
Ryan
the
Stegman.
artist.
Good old Ryan.
It's
He
very
used to do Spider-Man.
like, yeah, it's very. I don't know. My vocabulary is escaping me, but it's very like kinetic and comic booky, and the characters are very over the top. But it's super nice looking art. So I might go back and try to catch up, or just read some Wikipedia, find what led up to this event.
Superior Spider-Man.
The art itself just like is gonna
That's
suck me back in.
very cool.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna slowly try to finish The Walking Dead. I haven't read it in like 4 years, and I know it's over now, so I'm like, I should probably read these last like 40 issues.
Oh, is it finally over now?
Yeah, they ended it last year.
Oh shit.
God.
It was going on forever.
Yeah. Way too long.
It was going on for a long, but I always liked it because for me, I would always
Yeah.
forget about it for like a year, and then I would like binge a year's worth of it, and then I'd forget about it for another year. And I think in that, it worked better for me because trying to read it week or month to month, an issue like a singular issue of Walking Dead reads in like a minute.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it
No,
just
and I
didn't
remember
work as
every
well.
time we did the books, we would stop what we were doing to read Walking Dead.
Yeah. Invincible's
remember
better.
doing that.
Yes, it is. By Leaps
I need
and
to finish
Bounds.
reading
Thanks,
that
buddy.
too. I have a lot
Yeah.
more of that to finish though. I've only read the first
Yeah.
4 trades, where I've read the first
Yeah.
like 20 of Walking Dead or something.
I'm rereading Invincible now. I'm like 100 issues in.
I'm actually trying to sell some of those issues now. So we'll
Yeah. Yeah, that's been really good. Chandler, go back to you for a second. Didn't you start Drawing of the Three?
Yeah, I did. Yep. Yeah.
For those who don't know, Drawing of the Three is the second Dark Tower book.
We'll save that for book club.
Yeah.
I ordered
How
that.
far
I haven't got
in?
it yet though.
I'm still in the beginning.
Okay, cool.
So we still at like the beach, which is like the first page.
I like how when
I
you were
like
gonna
shit.
do the
I was
Dark
reading
Tower
this-
book
I was reading
club.
the summary of the Gunslinger before, so like if you can actually skip the first book because you summarize the entire first book in like 3-4 pages.
Oh, good God.
So I'm like, it's like
God
it's like
damn it.
pretty like thorough. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
cool.
Cool. Well, that's good. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm happy.
Yeah, I ordered that book in the 8th book in the Expanse series, but the Expanse
Cool.
book came first, so I started reading that instead.
That's fair. You did say whatever comes 1st. I'm trying to think what.
That show
have
is
we been
excellent too. I don't know if y'all.
Oh, the Expanse
watched.
show is
Yeah, the show's
amazing.
Really good.
The books are also amazing. It's like I got into it last year and I was like obsessed. I'm like, this is my new favorite franchise for everything.
I have the first book. I should read it.
Leviathan Rise. What's it called? Something Leviathan.
Something Leviathan.
It's so good. That first book is so
Okay.
good.
cool. I'm trying to think what else we've been.
I mean, I pretty much said everything in the last, like,
Yeah, Mortal
half
Kombat,
hour.
Mortal Kombat, and Mortal Kombat. Yeah, and just rereading Invincible, and working and getting COVID shots, and yeah, and that's that. Good stuff.
Yeah.
we're
stuff.
all crashing.
Yeah.
It's that,
this was a good
it's
episode.
that vaccine sleepies, you know?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, as always, gang, you know the drill. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Definitely drop us a line. Definitely still looking for book recommendations for our next book club. So definitely let us know what we should be reading. And yeah, have fun exploring the multiverse.
Okay, bye.
The end.